Hey everybody, my name is Mike, and in the southern part of Icecrown in Northland you will find a level 80 raid that was supposed to be the last raid of the Lana'thel Lich King expansion, but technically wasn't since Ruby Sanctum came out. But anyway, there you'll find Invincible's Reins, which drops off a Lich King, 25-man heroic, has a 1% chance to drop. Now, if you noticed, I set it to 10-man normal when I started this run, because you can actually change the difficulty before you go to Lich King, and that way you can do this on the easiest setting and save yourself some time. And that's pretty much it. Just save yourself some time and make this a lot easier for yourself. And then right before Lich King, switch it to heroic 25-man, which don't forget, because I did once and I almost killed Lich King and it sucked. But anyway, so starting off, it's just a long hallway of ads that are kind of annoying because like they slow you down. If you have any movement impairing what are they called? Friggin' disablers? I don't know what I'm looking for is, but things that break you out of snares, do that and kill these ads. I like to just kite them around this wall if I still have any alive, and then kill any ones that I have. And then for this first boss, Lord Marrowgar, he just spawns a blue fire underneath you like you see there. Stand out of it and you'll be fine. Before, the strategy for him used to be that he would, well, at least on 10-man normal. I don't remember, I never actually did this raid when it was current, so I don't know what the strategy was when it was current, but I can tell you stuff that I used to have to follow in terms of strat. So he used to, with more people as well, he would throw a like a bone spike on someone. You had to break that bone spike because I think it did damage over time to them. And then if you did it within like 10 seconds, broke that bone spike, you got an achievement. I'm pretty sure you get that achievement even if no one gets bone spiked if you're soloing it. So if it's your first time here, that's cool. For this boss, she has a shield, or I guess he or she has a shield, so you're gonna have to do damage through the immune that you're gonna see. And well, I guess I'm doing a little bit of damage, but I thought it was immune. I don't know why I thought so, but just at the start of this fight, you saw me behind that pillar trying to LOS the casters. Didn't really work too well, that's why I was like, screw it, let's go to these ads. You don't have to kill all the ads in the room as you see, but if you can LOS, highly recommend it. And then you just fight through the shield until it pops off and you just destroy her. Behind that boss, an elevator comes down where it takes you up to the next part of the raid. And we're going to move on to Gunship, which was actually nerfed to the ground, pretty much. Well, not really nerfed, they just made it so that the cannon that you use for this fight, it scales to your item level, so it's just stupid how easy this fight is now. I'm just going to tell you how to do it, then I'm going to tell you what the strategy used to be. That's what I'm pretty much going to do for all the fights as I talk. But you're going to start talking to this guy. I am Horde, so I'm not sure if it's the same for Alliance. Someone can let me know in the comments, I'll put it in the description box. But basically, you're going to start off, and as you see there, I'm moused over my Steam, I believe it's called. And you want to get pretty much to 100 Steam. I'm pretty sure using the one ability gets you about 6 Steam. And then when the fight starts, use your 2 ability on the opposite ship, and you will one-shot it. Don't jump over. Your ship's going to slowly fly over to this area where you start the next fight. So strategy, also here I cut it a bit, but Lord Sarragar, or whoever it is for Alliance, you have to talk to him to start the next fight. There's like a minute and a half RP. But for him, what used to happen, or for that ship, you had to like, gunship, you had to like jump over, you had to kill a sorceress because they would ice block your cannon, you couldn't shoot it, and then you had to kill the guys on that ship because they were doing damage to your ship. It was basically a race. Apparently it was really easy though, so that's nice. For this boss also, to the right of where I was running into this place, it's behind like by a corner. That's where the loot is. It's like a chest. You don't actually loot the boss. So for the first couple of runs, I was like, why doesn't this boss drop loot? But I figured it out. So it doesn't really matter which way you go here. You can go left side, right side. Either way, you're gonna have to fight all of these bosses. So I just like to go left side. I think there's more bosses on this side, so it just makes it feel like I'm doing a lot more. This group of trash here, they used to kill you very fast. I don't know what it was, but I remember you'd kill these guys and then you'd either be very low on health or you'd be dead. So don't have to worry about that anymore. That's very nice. And then you just walk up these stairs towards this hulking dude over here. Left or right, again, here it doesn't matter. Stinky, this boss here on the opposite side is another boss, or another mini boss, I guess, just like this guy, called Precious. And Precious drops a rare it's a rare drop, but it's a green colored, like green text colored shirt. I don't know, apparently it's pretty popular amongst people. I saw it drop once and I didn't know why people were freaking out about it. It's called Precious's Ribbon. These next two bosses you're gonna fight are ugly as shit, so if it's your first time here, admire how ugly these guys actually are. For this boss, he used to spawn spores. Also, side note, for the next two bosses, they have valves here you have to open up, and you're going to see in the tubes here to my left, there's stuff inside them. Make sure you get those valves, because you need both those valves open. The second valve's at the other boss to fight the third boss. But for that boss, he used to spawn spores on you, and I think you had to stay away from other people's spores because the spores would like combine and do something. Again, I didn't do this when it was relevant or when strats actually mattered, so I'm not 100% what the spores did, but that's the strategy there. Moving on to this boss, you might set off a trap that you're spawning adds and they slow you down a lot, and it's actually very annoying for some reason. I always get really mad when that happens. But anyway, when you finally get to this boss, for him, he used to spawn like a green liquid pool underneath you, or I guess in one side of the room, and you'd have to stand out of it. And I think he also spawned oozes that you wanted to make sure stayed away from each other, because they would manifest together and make a giant ooze. But as you saw, I right-clicked that second valve, and you can see the green stuff going through the tubes here on the right. If you don't see anything in one of these two valves, or in both these valves, as you go to this door, which will be closed if you haven't opened the two valves, you obviously, like I just said, you didn't open a valve. So, moving on. I hate these types of things. Basically, you run up to the closed door and you start this event, and it's just a whole bunch of ads keep spawning. You have to kill. I think they're like level 80 scarabs with like 50 health. It's very annoying. And I tried actually standing at the door and just waiting for the door to open. The door won't open if you don't kill any of those scarabs. It'll just reset that thing. It'll reset that whole encounter little room. So you have to unfortunately kill those scarabs. At least when I last did it. That was kind of annoying. But for Professor Putricide, he goes through like different phases, but you do kill him so fast it's kind of very annoying. But one thing he does is throw out, ooh, I forget what it's called, but it's that orange mist that was on the ground that stunned me. I kind of sped it up, that's why it was so fast. But it stuns you for like the duration of his phase transition. I think it's like 15 seconds. I forget. You can actually break that with movement impairing effect breakers, such as your PvP trinket. I know one time I killed him right after he threw his the potion that spawns that green or orange mist and stuns you, and then I was like, I wonder if this PvP trinket works, and then it did. So if you have anything that breaks movement impairing effects, go for it. Also, I'm seeing all the shining bodies, and I highly recommend looting in here. The only reason I didn't is just so this video isn't annoying and you see me looting everything. But I highly recommend looting because you can make a very good amount of gold here. I'm pretty sure some of the items, like just some of the boss drops, the vendor for 40 plus gold, unless you disenchant it, which I don't know, maybe disenchanting it, those mats go for more on the auction house. But yeah, you can definitely make some serious money here by itself, and if you're doing multiple mount runs a week, you'll be making a lot of money. So highly recommend looting. Over here, you saw that red ball. I kind of faded it in and out. That red ball slowly makes its way down to the middle guy for this boss, and then once it gets to the middle guy, all three become active. I'm pretty sure, I don't know if they all share a health pool, but I'm pretty sure, but I know the guy in the middle has the one that has full health, and you just kill him. I think what used to happen, also doesn't matter whether you go left or right. I forgot to open my map here, so that's why you don't see anything on the map there. Left or right, rather, after that boss. There's two doors you can go through, doesn't matter which one, they all take you here. But I think what used to happen with that previous boss was you'd have to switch targets. Like the first guy would start at full health, and then later on another one of those guys would go full health, and then you have to like switch targets, and there's a different strat for every person. Not 100%. For this boss, Lady Blood Queen Vala, I forget her name, pretty sure there's no strat at all at level 90 plus. She used to bite people, and it'd make you like a vampire to bite someone else, and if you didn't within like a minute or something like that, you would die. She used to spawn fire underneath people, or put the debuff on you that wherever you ran, fire would go for like 10 seconds, so... But I'm pretty sure, literally, there's nothing there's no mechanic that you're going to encounter because of how fast you kill her, so... That's pretty cool. But now we're moving on to what used to be the most annoying part of this whole raid, the healing boss, the healing dragon, which is a boss fight that you have to defeat by healing a dragon. And now, that used to be the strat for it anyway, but now you can skip it. As of patch 6.0, they made it so you do not have to kill this boss to progress in ICC, which is... Oh, I'm so thankful to be out, because I hated having to bring a healer in for this, and it's like, I remember the first couple times I did this, I forgot that you needed a healer, so I was like, oh yeah, BRB going to trade chat unless any of you guys have ults that can heal this. This is so stupid. But you can just walk around it. If you pull it, I think my friend had a moment here when he pulled one of the ads and the boss fight started, and then he kept running and then it reset. So maybe you can reset it by continuing to run, but I'm not 100%. I've never actually pulled them. But for that boss, like I said, the strategy was you would heal the boss, and there was like portals you would have to go in at level 80 anyway that would make you heal more or something like that. But I think later on, as you were higher up level, you could just stay out of those portals and just continue healing the boss as waves of enemies would come out. I think there was 2 doors that spawned enemies on 10 man and then 4 doors on 25 man. So that's one of the reasons I would always like to do this on 10 man. Back when I ran this with other people, just because I only had 2 doors to deal with instead of 4. This room over here, again, it's like that little area before Professor Putricide where you have to kill all these guys. Now, for this one, I've never actually tested it. I'm not sure if you just go to the closed door, if these guys will keep spawning and the door will open. I'm pretty sure for this one, it will open anyway, because I think it's on a timer. Don't quote me, but that whole thing sucks. It's like a minute and a half. It just feels like 6 hours, but after a while, this door opens and you can make your way to the second last boss. Well, I guess the trash pack before the second last boss. You can just pull them all together. And this fight is actually really cool. For some reason, I really like the dragons in ICC. I don't like the mounts. The fact that like the mounts are the same models as these guys right here and as the boss. But for some reason, I hate them as mounts, but I love them as enemies. So it's a really cool looking dragon. The strat used to be, there is no strat when you're level 90 plus, but the strat used to be that she would do like a breath. Well, she does a breath, but she used to like spawn or put a debuff on you that you become an ice block, and then she'd fly up in the air and shoot shit at people. But if you're behind one of the players that was ice blocked, you wouldn't get hit, and you have to break the ice block and heal that person really quick. So I'm pretty sure the ice block was also a dot. And I also don't know why it took me so long to kill this boss in this run, but that was annoying. But after you kill her, make sure you are switching the difficulty at this point. Don't forget, you have to run out of the instance. So there's a teleporter up here, and what you're going to do is you're going to teleport to the first place, the Light's Hammer, I believe it's called, and run out of the instance. Now, I remember one time I went straight to the Lich King because I totally forgot, and I got into the phase where he was at 1 health. And I was just waiting for him to kind of come to life so I can kill that final, like, 1 health, and then I was like, oh shit, I gotta jump off because I frigged up. So when you run outside, switch it to just the 25 player, and then when you run back inside, set it to heroic. And when you set it to heroic, it'll give you this message here, how many bosses you've killed you want to accept. And make sure in the chat it also says 25 player heroic, because like I said, Invincible's Reins, 1% drop rate, port to Upper Rise, by the way, or Upper Spire, I forget what it's called, I think it's Upper Spire, second last one. Invincible's Reins, 1% drop rate, only drops on Lich King 25 man, heroic. So that's why you're doing this, that's why you have to switch it. But once you port there, you just run straight through this place. If you don't get ported to here when you run through that, that means you missed the boss. But if you are here, just talk to Lord... Oh, I forget his name. I just call him Lord Fordring. I think that's what his name is. There's some RP that happens for about a minute, and then he gets frozen, and you fight the Lich King. Now for the Lich King, see that big black thing? That looks exactly like Shadow Trap, which is something you don't want to stand in. And you're gonna see here in a second, right there, that black thing right there that I just moved out of the way of, very similar to Infest. Now for Shadow Trap, there's a specific place on the stairs you can stand, so you don't have to worry about Shadow Trap. But for me personally, I prefer moving out of Shadow Trap. I don't know why, I just do. Make sure you're watching out for Shadow Trap. You have like 5 seconds or something to get out of it. I think it's also a cast that he does. The reason you don't want to stand in it is because if you do get caught in it, it's going to shoot you far off of this platform, and unless you're a warrior that can heroic leap, or I don't know if mages can blink or anything, but I'm pretty sure, I know heroic leap works for warriors, you're just gonna die, and it's super annoying. He also spawns ads, which just, if you have AoE to spare, go for it, but he should just be a primary target at this point. I think at 75% he starts his ice phase, which you're gonna be dealing with until pretty much he dies. Now during this phase, as you saw, there is an ice sphere that spawns every once in a while. There's actually an animation you see from the top of my screen there. It kind of flies down from the sky. Those are pretty much just like Shadow Traps. You need to range kill them. As you see, I'm using my Whirlwind when I kill them. Don't go up to them, because if they touch you, it's just like Shadow Trap. It'll knock you right off of this whole platform, and you're gonna die. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And then this goes until about 10%, where he casts Fury of the Frostmourne, I believe it's called. And, or is it 10% or is it 20%? I'm pretty sure it's 10%. When he casts Fury of the Frostmourne. So at this point, you're just killing him until 10%. This used to do a ton of damage, and you have to like run to the outside. Now you had to run in when he did this, because the outside breaks off, as you saw. But you're killing him so fast, he basically goes through the same phase twice. And like I said, you're just killing ads, making sure you're killing that Ice Sphere. There is no Shadow Trap during this phase, so don't worry about it. He also spawns clones of you. One thing that might happen is he might, if you don't kill him fast enough, like I actually have him when he was at 11%. He ported me into this room where you're with ghosts and shit. In that phase, put your camera right above your character and make sure you're not underneath the ghost, ever. Just keep running around, make sure you're not underneath the ghost. You may need to pop some cooldowns because that place really hurts still. Or it used to anyway. They might have nerfed it, but 10% you cast Fury of the Frostmourne, and there's like a whole bunch of RP that happens there. You're supposed to be dead at that point and then get resurrected, but and if you do die, you will get resurrected. But I think nowadays you have so much health, it doesn't do as much damage. So basically just kill him, and then he's gonna get then after the RP, you can just kill him, and then hopefully Invincible will drop for you. So thanks for watching. Hope it helped. I will see you in the next video. Love you. Bye.